Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram. Unfortunately, as you know, every Saturday it's a very late report because once I come back from my office, that is the time I file my report. So I'm not going to be giving any report really. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look at the first day's play, how it all panned out at the Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium in Hyderabad, where the second test match of the Border Gavaskar Trophy series started, where Australia, very surprisingly, declared at 237 for 9 on the first day, and also, I mean, they wanted to have they wanted to hurl the new ball at the Indians. They did that, and India finished with 5 for no loss. And also, we will look at West Indies Zimbabwe, where West Indies took the 2020 series in style with Simmons thrashing the ball to all parts of the ground. We will talk about that. Okay, so first let's go into the match, the first day's play of the Border Gavaskar Trophy series. As I said, the second test match was played at Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium. Well, the toss was won by Australia, but everyone were keen first to see like what is the team composition, and Australia definitely sprung a surprise. What they did is that they dropped Nathan Lyon and they dropped Mitchell Starc, and they brought in Glenn Maxwell, the all-rounder, who will be a right-arm off spinner too, and then they brought in Xavier Doherty, the left-arm spinner, which was expected. So, but Nathan Lyon being dropped was something which came as a real surprise, but that was what Michael Clarke did, and Michael Clarke very rightly said, as you know, before the match started, that he will have a good look at the wicket and then decide. And Michael Clarke, well, let me tell you, as a captain, whatever he does, I would say I would really agree with him, because he's a very intelligent captain. He really judges the pitch well. He knows what to do. As I said, there are two captains on either side who are very, very intelligent. Mahendra Singh Dhoni from India and Michael Clarke from Australia. Well, so Australia started. Australia were the ones who won the toss. They elected to bat. And as far as India were concerned, well, India went with the same winning squad. They didn't make any changes in the lineup. It was the same squad that played on the first day. Now, as far as Australia were concerned, it all started with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, the swing bowler. This pitch, unlike Chennai, what it was doing was very hard. So definitely it was offering something to the seamers, and that's what Bhuvaneshwar Kumar did. Now Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is not an express pace bowler. He bowls at 130 to 135 kph, and that's what he did. He really moved the ball very well, and it was the new ball. So if you allow the pitch to do the rest, well, you definitely get reward. So it was some very good disciplined bowling. It was some very good length bowling by Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, and he was the one who actually rocked Australia pretty hard by reducing them to 57 for 3. The first wicket to go was David Warner. Now David Warner, what he did is he got a ball from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, and he got an inside edge onto that. The ball was coming in, and David Warner got an edge onto it, and it rolled onto the stumps, and he was gone. Clean bowled by Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for 6 of 8 balls with 1-4, and that was his first test wicket. What a start for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Even though he in the debut test he didn't get lots of overs because of the spinners, but Bhuvaneshwar Kumar definitely capitalized here and gave India the breakthrough by actually clean bowling David Warner. So that was 10 for 1. After that, Ed Cowan was along with Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes joined Ed Cowan, and Ed Cowan also got a ball where he was adjudged LBW. The ball held its line, and Ed Cowan was adjudged LBW ball Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for 4 with 1 boundary, making the score 15 for 2. And after that, Phil Hughes and Watson was creased. Now, Phil Hughes and Watson, what they did, they actually stabilized matters by pushing the score along, with Phil Hughes playing absolutely some sweetly timed shots through point, which is very, very capable of. And Watson also was playing well, but Watson, certainly there was a sort of a shot that Watson attempted. He wanted to try to pull Bhuvaneshwar Kumar over mid-wicket, but missed the line of the ball completely, and he was gone. LBW bowled Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for 23 with 4 fours, and that made the Australian score. As I said, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was the one who actually rocked Australia pretty hard there, and had Australia at 57 for 3. But after that, Phil Hughes was along with joined by the captain Michael Clarke, and when Michael Clarke came, the spinners were already introduced. And spinners, well, they definitely got some purchase. We could see the ball turning, the ball bouncing, and Phil Hughes, who was looking pretty comfortable against the pace attack of Ishant Sharma and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, suddenly found life absolutely difficult. He was really stranded. I mean, he was not getting the runs at all. He was not able to get the ball to the square, and Ashwin was really throttling him. And Phil Hughes then finally fell to Ashwin as he was caught behind by Dhoni of the bowling of Ashwin for 19, and that made the score 63 for 4. After that, this was the partnership from 63 for 4. Michael Clarke was really using his feet well to the spinners, and he is, as you know, he is in some great form. And once again he played a captain's knock, but he got good support from Matthew Wade, who was a doubtful starter after being hit on the cheek in the nets. But well, he was there, and he really made it count. And Matthew Wade definitely said that in his post press conference, that he had already learnt his lessons and decided that he's not going to employ the sweep much, because that was the one which actually brought his downfall in the first test. And definitely he really brought that into the picture by really giving some good support to Michael Clarke. He played some very good strokes, but he really didn't play lots of sweep strokes. He really reserved that sweep stroke. And Michael Clarke, as I said, he was really using his feet well to the spinners, and it was very good to see. And this was the partnership which frustrated India from 63 for 4. Definitely Michael Clarke and Matthew Wade had done all the hard work, and they had really resuscitated the Australian innings, and they had taken the score on to 208. So that was a pretty good partnership, 145 run partnership, and that is the precise reason Australia could declare at 237 for 9. And Michael Clarke, his contribution was 91 with 9 fours and 1 6. Matthew Wade, he made 62 with 8 fours. But after that, the test debutant Moises Henriques failed. I mean, Michael Clarke was the last man out, in fact, because what happened was, what Matthew Wade was gone, Moises Henriques was clean bowled by Jadeja. That was a beautiful ball from Jadeja, which actually coming from off the off stump, it come and clipped the middle stump. What a delivery from Ravindra Jadeja. So he was gone for 5. Glenn Maxwell, who was drafted into the team at the last minute, well, he couldn't do much. He was caught behind of the bowling of Jadeja for 13 with 2 boundaries. Peter Siddle was LBW bowled, Harbhajan Singh for a duck, and that was the time when I mean, there are 236 for 9. Clarke, he definitely wanted to get to his century because he knows he was running out of partners. But Matthew Clarke failed, as he actually fell 9 short of his century. He was clean bowled by Ravindra Jadeja for 91 with 9 fours and 1 6. And in the end, it was surprising to see Michael Clarke declare the innings just before, he wanted to have a go at the Indians. I can understand that. But well, as I said, Michael Clarke, whatever he does, he knows the pitch very well. He's a very intelligent captain. He took the decision, but I would have thought that probably Australia could have eked some runs, because James Pattinson can bat. Xavier Doherty could also, not bat, I would say, but at least give some support. And probably, Australia could have added some useful runs. Probably another 20-25 runs, probably. But well, Michael Clarke as you know, he's a different captain. He decided to declare he's the one who really goes for results in test matches. I've seen that. I can very safely say that Michael Clarke is one of those attacking captains which Australia would love to have, because what he does is a pretty attacking captain. I mean, since the days of I would say Gary Sobers of West Indies, I've not seen an attacking captain like Michael Clarke. He's a real attacking captain, and what he did, he actually declared the innings close. It was a surprise for everybody, but he did that. 237 for 9 declared Australia. And bowling, as I said, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who rocked them hard, 15 overs, 2 maidens, 53 runs and 3 wickets, did all the early damage. And then Ishant Sharma, he also bowled well, 17 overs, 5 maidens, none for 45. The spinners, as usual, ruled the roost there, with Ravindra Jadeja, the most successful, 16 overs, 4 maidens, 33 runs and 3 wickets, in fact sharing the spoils with Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Harbhajan Singh, 22 overs, 2 maidens, 52 runs and 2 wickets. And Ashwin, the hero in the first test, 15 overs, 6 maidens, 1 for 41. And India and Australia, 237 for 9 declared. Well, then they had a go at the Indians with James Pattinson and Peter Siddle. James Pattinson 2 overs, 1 maiden, 1 run and no wicket. And Peter Siddle bowled 1 over, which one of the deliveries which Sehwag actually cracked for a 4. So, but India saw of the day. Probably Michael Clarke would have thought that, if he had a go at the Indians, and if you could, after seeing how the pitch behaved, I think it was a good decision, because he would have seen how Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Ishant Sharma exploited the the new ball. So after seeing that, probably Michael Clarke would have been pretty encouraged by the fact that there is something in for the bowlers, pace bowlers, and that is the right time to experiment. Well, but unfortunately, the Indians, I would say unfortunately for Australia, but very fortunately for the Indians, Indians negotiated it well, and after playing 3 overs for the day, they were 5 for no loss, with Murli Vijay not out or not. He's yet to score after facing 12 balls, and Virendra Sehwag with a solitary boundary of 6 balls with 1-4 was at the crease. So that wraps up my first day report on the match between India and Australia. The second day, well, it is going to be very interesting to see how really things go, how Indians, according to me, the second display is going to be very interesting. The morning session where James Pattinson, Peter Siddle, and the other bowlers who would be there, Moises Henriques would be probably given the ball, because there is something in for the pace bowlers, the red cherry, morning dew factor, a lot of things will come into the picture, and I'm sure the Australia, and also one more thing that I wanted to say in this particular show, that Glenn Maxwell of Australia was making his test debut yesterday. Well, so from here I'm leaving right now, and I'm going to now do a very quick summary of the West Indies-Zimbabwe 2020 match, which was played at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, North Sound, where West Indies have actually taken the series. They've won the first one, so the second one was taken in grand style with the T20 champions West Indies beating Zimbabwe by 8 wickets. Zimbabwe were the ones who batted first, and well, they couldn't. They made 130 for 8 of 20 overs. What was good for Zimbabwe was they had a good partnership between Craig Irvine and Malcolm Waller, because they were 28 for 3 at one stage, with Vusi Sabanda out for 13 of 12 balls with 3 fours. Anyway, I wouldn't be able to go into the details because of the time factor here on my YouTube broadcast, so I'm just going to do a brief summary. So 130 for 8 was what Zimbabwe put on the board. The 130 for 8 was built up by Craig Irvine, who made 34 of 39 balls with 5 fours. Malcolm Waller contributed 49. It was a hard-hitting 49 of 34 deliveries with 4 fours and 2 sixes. 2 sixes that Malcolm Waller struck was with the bowling of the West Indian captain Darren Sammy. Other than that, there was not much contributions, because and VC Subanda, who made 13 at the top of the order of 12 balls with 3 fours, was the only 3 persons, Craig Irvine, Malcolm Waller and Vusi Subanda were the only ones who actually reached double figures. After that, you had a telephone number, because none of the batsmen none of the players could actually go to double figures. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, Pino Best had 3 for 18, and the other wickets were shared between Sunil Narine 2 for 17, 2 for 16 for Dwayne Bravo. And as far as West Indies were concerned, well, West Indies definitely lost 2 wickets pretty early, with Chris Pofu coming into the team, and Chris Pofu really making it count after coming into the team. If you look at the score, West Indies 131 for 2, they got the victory in the 17th over, but look at Chris Pofu's bowling figures, absolutely splendid. He bowled 4 overs, no maiden, 14 runs and 2 wickets. He was the one who actually gave them the breakthrough and also picked up 1 more wicket. First he had Johnson Charles, who was going like a train. In fact, if you see his knock, Johnson Charles cracked 26 of just 14 deliveries with 6 boundaries, and of that 5 boundaries came in 1 over of Kyle Jarvis, who leaked 3.1 overs, no maiden, none for 39. That was his bowling figures, thanks to Johnson Charles cracking him for 20 runs in a particular over. He hit 5 boundaries of the bowling of Kyle Jarvis, and he made 26. It was electric stuff from Johnson Charles, 26 of 14 balls with 6 fours. So that was the first wicket to go. He was LBW bowled Pofu for 26, and the second to go was the man in form, Darren Bravo. He was gone, caught by Chibaba of the bowling of Pofu for a duck, and that made the score 46 for 2. But after that, Lendy Simmons took his time at the crease, but later on accelerated. He got good company from the captain Dwayne Bravo, contributed an unbeaten 38 of 30 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. But Lendy Simmons was simply electrifying, because what he did is he cracked 63 runs, unbeaten runs, to take them to victory. In fact, he had a winning shot which was hit for a 6 of the bowling of Jarvis, and Jarvis had a very forgettable 2020 match, I would say, because 3.1 overs, no maiden, none for 39. And well, my YouTube broadcast is about to end, so let me complete it here. Lendy Simmons 63, he had 49 balls with 1 4 and 6 sixes. Out of that, two sixes were hit off those leg spinners, Tino Mutambodzi and Nathan Mashangwe, and 1 6 he hit off the bowling of Jarvis. So 6 sixes in all with 1 4, and he was the man of the match. Bowling figures: 2 for 14 as Pofu was superb. Mutambodzi 2 overs for 20 runs. Mushangwe 3 overs for 33 and 4 overs for 25 for Prosper Utsaya. Done and dusted. West Indies taking the T20 series 2-0. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show for today. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's good night. Thank you.